Hello everybody, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my favorite books by indie authors or books that were published by indie publishers in 2021. Not all of these were 2021 releases. Some of them were quite old actually, but I'd like to, shine some light on these books that maybe not everyone's heard of. First up, Touch the Night by Max Booth III. This is a really wild story about two boys, Alonzo and Josh, who are being troublemakers one night. They were definitely, doing some things that were very wrong, but they're picked up by the police outside of Alonzo's house, and these police officers don't seem quite right. And the boys, they're boys. They're like 11, 12 years old. So, they don't know exactly how to react to this. Obviously, they know that they should be worried and scared, but there's also like something really not quite right about these police officers. They're it's like their skin's not right and their faces don't look right and the way that they speak is weird, and also their names are father and uncle. And so they're very worried when they're taken by these police, but we also follow Alonzo and Josh's mothers, Otessa and Mary. And Otessa and Mary are two very different women, but they sort of team up to get to the bottom of where the fuck their sons are, because they certainly are not at the police station where they should be after being taken by the police. And this is a really great book about friendship. The ending is not what I expected, and it was really great. And I don't want to say more than that. This was a book that, even though I was having a hard time reading at the time, just in general, it was a book that I wanted to come back to, and it was just really good. Also, Max Booth is very fucking funny. And he is funny just like on Twitter, and he's funny in his podcast. And he's funny in his fucking books. And I can't really think of any other horror authors that, except for like maybe Grady Hendrix, he's really funny too. But there aren't very many people who can translate like good humor into their books, I don't think. And he's one that I think does it really well. And subtly, not like a ha-ha clown funny, but funny. Also, I almost forgot, this is by Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, so you can find this on their website. Next on my list is The Razorblades in My Head by Donnie Goodman. This is a short story collection. There's not much to tell you here. I thought that this had good variety. I think that Donnie Goodman has a good grasp of making his voice sound different in different stories. It doesn't seem like I'm just reading the same story over and over again by the same person. I think my favorites were Third Grade. I really liked A Stranger in the Squared Circle and Teddy and The Old Bay King. I think those were my favorites. Yeah, it was just a good collection, and I don't always really love short story collections, so this was kind of a nice surprise for me. Okay, these next two are by the same author, but they're from different publishing houses. The first one here is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. This is by Weird Punk Books. And this is a really short and wicked story about two women in the early 2000s who meet online, and eventually things turn into like a sub-dom relationship between them, but over the computer, which kind of brings a different aspect to it, which I thought was really cool. And I do really like books where they utilize technology instead of running away from it. And things go wildly out of control between these two women, and it is weird and gross and just a really great, I don't know, it just packed a punch, After reading it, it's just one of those books where you have to sit and think about what you've fucking done. You know what I mean? And obviously the cover art. This is by Kim Jacobson. Beautiful art. Things Have Gotten Worse, Eric LaRocca. Also by Eric LaRocca, The Strange Things We Become and Other Dark Tales. And this was by Off Limits Press. This is another short story collection which absolutely blew my mind. The ones I loved were like all of them. Honestly, I really loved all of them. I loved Bodies Are for Burning. I loved Where Flames Burned Emerald as Grass. I'll Be Gone by Then. Please Leave or I'm Going to Hurt You. I mean, I loved every single story in this collection, which is astounding to me. I don't think that's ever happened to me in a short story collection before. It was just so good and dark and ooh, he has a way with words. Okay, my next two are from different authors, but the same publisher, at least these editions, this edition. This is The Godsend by Bernard Taylor, and this is a creepy child story. This is about this family, and they eventually adopt this baby who's basically been left on their doorstep, and they name her Bonnie, and she's got golden ringlets and sparkling blue eyes, and her parents are just absolutely in love with her. But the family is plagued by these terrible deaths, and the father starts to wonder if maybe beautiful little Bonnie Blue Eyes has something to do with it. And I think this, well, this is an older book, so I don't know how many of these like evil children stories, how prevalent they were at this time and what that sort of trope was like then. I'd have to read more, but I liked this because compared to the evil child stories that I read today, usually it's the mother who is the one who's saying there's something wrong with this kid, and in this one it's the father who is starting to suspect that, and so I like that. This doesn't really do much with the trope, you know, as far as like expanding on what's already there, but this is a really good one still, I thought. And even though it's like I kind of know what's going to happen here, I really enjoyed being on the ride with this family. So this was reprinted and published by Valancourt Books, and that's also where you can find The Auctioneer by Joan Samson. I do have a Valancourt, oh, it's back there. I couldn't find it when I was looking for this because my books were fucking everywhere. But this is The Auctioneer by Joan Samson, which you can get from Valancourt, and this is a book about this really small community, and this auctioneer comes in and he's trying to raise money for the town, and he just really is prompting people to just, you know, give what they don't need. And as these auctions start to happen more and more, people run out of like the things they don't really need, but the auctioneer keeps telling them, you need to give, and he starts to be a little menacing maybe, and so people start to give more and more, and they're giving things that they do need, and it's like, how far will this go? I don't know. And this was just really fun and sinister. The auctioneer here, does it say what his name is? I can't remember. Oh, Pearly? Is it Pearly something? Pearly something. No, I think it is Pearly. I just can't remember what his last name is. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so this was a really great vintage horror book, and like I said, you can get The Godsend and The Auctioneer from Valancourt Books. And that is the end of this video. Those are my favorite indie authors and indie presses that I read from in 2021. That's all I have this time. I would love to hear if you loved any other indie authors or indie publishers this year, and if you read any of these and you like them. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.